Okay, gentlemen, thank you for taking your time to speak to us. Paul, obviously you requested this to sort of introduce your more of your backroom team. You have one more, which is Joe McGovern, who's your goalkeeping coach. We all know about Joe because obviously Joe's been at the club for quite a while. You obviously asked for this time tonight to let the fans, supporters and everybody who follows the Welders obviously know who's who basically. You've been in the job, 6 weeks now? And everybody knows obviously what you're wanting out of the club. So if you want to introduce your colleagues to everyone who you have as a backroom team, and we'll obviously have a wee chat with them and find a bit more about them.
Well, we've actually got Stevie Collier coming on as well as player analyst.
Okay.
So he's obviously providing feedback with it. We want to get better feedback for players and performances and games, etc. So Stevie's there as well. And now we've brought on Noel Mitchell, who's assistant head coach, assistant manager. I've known Noel for a number of years, worked with him extensively at the IFA Excellence Programme. We have a really good understanding of what we want in terms of coaching, trying to develop teams.
Okay.
And I brought Graham, former captain myself at Institute, a couple of promotions under his belt, and has been new to coaching and management, and we feel that this is a good start for him here at the club. He's not long stopped playing. I know it's hard to believe by looking at him, but he's on that transition now where he wants to be a coach, and he'll do a really good job. We brought him on. He was a good leader, vocal, and he's there for the players, and that's what his job is, as player liaison. Which I think is more important now. These roles are relevant around a lot of clubs. Mm-hmm. So between the coaching aspect and the welfare of the players, we're very keen to take the players up another notch.
Okay, let's have a chat with you first of all. Assistant coach, for anybody who doesn't know who you are, you want to fill us in just sort of briefly where you've been in the game and obviously where your plan is with Paul moving forward.
Yes, I worked with Paul in the Excellence Programme, and then I got involved with the girls in the international teams. Mm-hmm. So I've done all the girls teams from the 15s right up to the senior team.
Okay.
With a wee spell with Ballinamollard.
Right.
After my time at Coke.
Okay.
With Coke, a good relationship here with people here with Coke and the championship when we played them. And then Paul asked me to come in, and I just jumped at it. To be fair, to get back in again, working at senior level.
It has been a bit of an uphill task. You've been obviously with the situation the club's in at the minute, and obviously with your expertise along with Paul, and obviously Graham as well. You know, it's been a bit of a battle the first couple of weeks, but how are you feeling with being with the club now, settling in the first couple of weeks?
No, as I say, it's been good so far. The results obviously haven't been maybe what they should be. Mm-hmm. But as I say, a good bunch of lads here. We're trying to get them to play in a positive way, and we'll take each game as it comes. We're on a wee bit of a battle here, relegation wise.
Yep. But
I think we've enough in the changing rooms and with Paul's expertise and everybody. I think we'll definitely get out of that.
Yeah. Graham, yourself. Your role at the club's a bit of an interesting one.
Yeah.
How you find fitting in with the boys? Because I was here the first night you come in to speak to the boys for the first time. Obviously, introduce yourself to them and stuff. How's your time been with the boys since you came here along? Part of Paul's team. How you find it?
As Paul said there, I've sort of played up until my early 40s, so it's been a few years I haven't really been involved in the football aspect of it. And obviously, Paul contacted me about coming in and explained to me that he would have a role for me. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with communicating and enjoy that interaction with the players, and that suited me down the ground because it was a quality I had when I played. I like to communicate with players and I like to try and bring players on.
Of course.
And obviously I'm glad that Paul's seen something for me to do in that role, and obviously I'll just endeavour to do my best to try and bring the players out of themselves, because football now is more than just on the pitch. It's about their mental health and their attitudes off the pitch and confidence issues. There's a lot of things that can impact on it. So if I can give a bit of my experience and help them out, then obviously I'll be doing a valuable job for Paul and Noel.
Just basically, your job really is for the boys to be there in all cases, in all scenarios, whether they're having a bad week or whatever. Or even you just touched on their mental health, because mental health's a big thing, and especially in local football too as well.
Well, especially after lockdown, there was a lot of people have had different experiences of lockdown, and many people have had difficult times, and obviously it's important that your playing staff obviously have a good mental health in all aspects of their life, because obviously it's not a light switch, you can't turn it on and turn it off.
Absolutely.
And taking things onto the pitch can obviously be detrimental to performance, so if there's something that I can do, and it may only be a small thing, but if it can sort of improve somebody's performance, then obviously it's a worthwhile role. So it's Paul's introduced a number of different roles. into the club to try and professionalise it and prepared for maybe possibly trying to get into the Premier League, and this is just one aspect of it.
Now you said you obviously played into your 40s. I mean, for people who don't know where you played, where else have you been? Obviously you've been around the block quite a lot. So I've spoken to you personally and you've told me where you played. For people who don't know where you played, obviously the experience you've had from different clubs, whereabouts have you obviously been playing over the years?
Yeah, I played local level up until I was about 16, and I had been playing for Paul. That's where my relationship started with Paul. When I was 14 to 16, I'd played in the Institute. He was manager of the youth team then, and then I went to Korean after the Milk Cup, and I played for signed pro with Korean, and quickly got into the first team at 16, 17, 18, and through then I was made captain. And at 20, I was transferred to West Ham for 50,000 for 2.5 years. I had 2.5 years at West Ham. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Played with some top quality players, mostly in the reserves. Frank Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, Michael Carrick, sort of that ilk.
You cleaned your boots.
Well, Michael Carrick, that's right. That's the running joke with my mates when we're watching the football and we see Michael Carrick playing. He used to be my boot boy, but obviously he's done slightly better than me in the football sphere. But and then after that, I came back. I signed for David Jeffries at Linfield. When I came back from West Ham, but unfortunately my first game I broke my ankle, so I was out for most of the first season. Broke back in at Christmas and played the end of the season, but if I was honest, I struggled a bit coming in with confidence and stuff, and then it just transpired. I had signed a 2-year contract, and in the second year Institute had just emerged and had just come into the first division that very season. So I think Paul spoke to Davey and they were happy enough if I dropped down a league that they would let me go on a free. So obviously it worked out really well. I was living in London there and travelling to Linfield for training. Obviously Institute were Drumahole on my doorstep, and as I said, I played a couple of seasons with Institute. It was sort of, I think I was ever present for a couple of seasons, and then we started to really achieve and progress, and we got promoted into the Premier League. Got into the Premier League and did really, really well. Beat Linfield 3 times in the one season and finished 6th.
Now, obviously, with your experience, you just mentioned you had a couple of injuries and stuff like that. Obviously, that obviously affected you as a player. You know, obviously with obviously your mental health and things like that, they're trying to cope with all that. Can you see that what your experience has been to bring it to us and sort of say, if Sarah Boy coming back from an injury who's feeling a bit low, that would be where you'd step in and try and obviously show your experience.
It was funny too, because in my playing career, I had 3 leg breaks before I turned 18, so I had a lot of injuries very, very young. And there's no doubt when you're not playing, if you're used to playing on a week in, week out basis and you're not playing football, and that's for a lot of people, football's their release. It's a way of getting, get out in the evenings and get away at the weekends. It can impact on you, and obviously in the 4 weeks that I've been here, again, there's been a lot of players who've been picking up injuries, and you can see how that can affect them. And obviously my role is to try and assist them. It's all sort of short spells of injury, and you will get back, but sometimes you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel because you're worrying too much about those injuries.
Like that, especially like a Spike a few weeks ago. He said he was going through a lot of dark times.
But the good thing is he's responded. He's responded in the best way possible, and he's obviously back banging goals again, which is fantastic. And that's a fantastic example for all the other players who have had long-term injuries or coming back from injuries. Because football's a squad game, and you're not going to ever get promotions out of this league without having a healthy squad, and obviously you need everybody along and going together.
Well, that's really the message we've been putting to the players since we've come on. Obviously there was change. Players were here for a long time. I've been here for a long time, and are good Welders players. Some of them now come at the start of the season, so there's a mix here, and then obviously the managers brought them in, and there's been a change in management. So getting the players to come along has been probably in the 6 weeks. And really we're only getting to know them now after 6 weeks, so that's been the challenge. Now in fairness, the levels of commitment has been fantastic, and with that change has had some difficulties, because Noel, for example, wasn't here for like nearly 2 weeks because he was away with the Northern Ireland Women's team at under 17 level, which it kind of affects the rhythm. And then Graham he's got a pre-booked family holiday now for he's away for 10 days. So but I wanted these two in because they're professional, they know their jobs, they've done really well, they've had success in the game. Noel obviously is a very modest chap, right? Noel's played highest level at Glentorrent and played for Ards as well. Him and David Jeffries were actually a centre half partnership for many years at Ards, and we've had brilliant experiences, the 3 of us in football. So all we're looking to do here is bring what we do to the team, and more so to the club. Like, it's a fantastic club now. The club's been obviously elevated in terms of status with and particularly in the community in East Belfast now, and it's something that really excited the 3 of us when we got this is good here. And so our intentions is to make this as best as we can, and but we realise that we have to win matches. That's difficult in this day and age because the league's got a lot stronger than what it was a couple of years back. But we've total faith in what we're doing, and we've total faith that the players will be responsive and will get results.
Now, obviously, you've worked obviously with the first team. You've got also an option as well, the 21s and also the 18s as well, which is another great option for you too. I'm sure obviously you're going to make your changes the way you want to play your style of football. I mean, obviously January's just around the corner. I'm sure we maybe see a few changes maybe, but again, it's there's a lot of options there to try and open all different types of options for you to make this club better.
Well, that's it. And listen, it's only every Monday you're going to examine your possibilities, and if there's players become available, you look at it, and the players are aware of it. But the players, we have 9 games at Christmas time now, and players in good run of forms is going to be important for us, and that's what we've said. Get on the team, stay on the team, be an important player, and that's what's happening at the minute. So with some really good performances there on Saturday and Tuesday, obviously Craig Harris being one. Craig's really rolled up his sleeve, has really got on with it, and that's the type of attitude, mentality, strength that we need. So if we can get that type of mentality right throughout, then we're going to be okay. There's been a bit of disappointment, obviously, since last season where results haven't been great, and we've seen that, we've picked that up, and we're just trying to change that. We don't have a magic wand, also we're football people, we're human, we'll try and get in contact with them, and then hopefully the players will see that, the players will relate to that, and so far I think we have. The attitude has been excellent. Like Tuesday night, for example, the effort from the Ballyclare game was first class.
Yeah, especially the defending was fantastic.
Well, we just need to do a wee bit better with the ball. I think everybody knows that, and that's what we've been working on. We've tried because of the injuries, etc. We tried to taper down training the last while. We played a wee bit more, spent a wee bit more time in conditioning them, and doing a wee bit more game with a controlled input. Like ours tonight, for example, it was a good 20-25 minute game we had. Some good players on there, some good look at the 21s.
Yep.
Like Kyle Flynn, for example, has been excellent. Jack Kenners hasn't done himself any harm as well as an 18-year-old, so we're really pleased with that. And the 21s will play a significant part, and the 2 guys in there, Keith and Mark, are doing a brilliant job. So, but we will be opening up. All we want is to get this club successful, and I think with the 3 and then obviously Stevie and, as you say, Joe as well, and we are maybe looking at other staffing. I'll be speaking to committee about it on Tuesday as well, about how we go about our recruitment, for example, how we look at young players and what we bring them in, and what we do with a youth programme, for example. That's going to be essential moving forward, and then obviously getting ones on the board, which is the most important thing. And that's what our real focus is at this minute in time between now and Christmas.
Yeah, it's great to have those options though, isn't it? Especially when you walk in here, because there's not a lot of clubs that have those options, especially at the championship level. But I mean, you're walking in here and you've got the options of obviously looking outside the box, the 21s, the 18s. It's a great headache to have. Would you agree with that?
100%. Listen, at the end of the day, the club really started at the top and has worked its way down. It started with a first team. It was always competitive in the old B Division, now Championship. And now they've got their 21s. They started the 18s, I think it was this year. And the club's going in the right direction, but there's a real good hub here. So there's a football centre here, and I think the potential around it is massive. But obviously, we're here and now. We have to examine that, and we're not in a great position in the league. We've inherited that. Since we've come on, we've had a few defeats and one draw. But as I says, we have confidence in the players. I know it's easy saying it's lip service, but we do have confidence. The players are going in the right direction. They're getting more involved in it. They're getting more around it, and that's what we're looking for on Saturday, is for them to really take the fight to ours and get that victory we need.
Well, anyway, Chance, thanks for speaking to us tonight, and good luck for you all anyway this season. Enjoy your holiday. I'm sure you will. Bring back some of the sunshine with you. But anyway, good luck for the future, gents, and thanks for your time this evening. I do appreciate it.